Hey, what's up guys, name is Life, nickname Gitz, and today I'm here in a video. Today I'll be talking about the EUL finals along with the relegations, and well, let's just do it. So let's talk about the first few games. Team BDS versus G2 Esports and Team Empire versus Navi. Now, BDS and G2, they went to all three maps. Mind you, this format is a best of three, and all matches besides the grand finals are best of threes. The grand finals being best of five. So you do have that to kind of consider and wonder about. But BDS versus G2, like I said, went to all three maps. Or my apologies, G2 won the first game on Oregon 7-5 against BDS, but then BDS took the last two maps on Bing and Clubhouse, winning 8-7 and 7-2. Literally, this was just Citizen, like, literally murdering everyone. I can't say you're saying it wasn't. Citizen pretty much just helped win Oregon. I mean, he was kind of like that winning factor for Oregon. It was a max overtime game for BDS and G2, so of course, um, Bane could easily went to either way, and Clubhouse just kind of fell apart. I don't want to say your say it was necessarily the Citizen show, and it was nothing but that. We saw other players like Jonka and even Kayak sometimes fragging out and getting kills where Citizen might have failed. So it's not to say that G2 is, of course, the weakest EU team in the terms of where they are in the standings. They did place fourth place overall in the standings for the finals, but I don't think G2 is that weak, if that makes sense. I definitely do think they're uh not like their stage two selves. If they were their stage two selves, I think that would have been I think that we would have had way more of a competition here. I mean, of course, BDS they took it. They lost 7-5. They took it to 8-7 max overtime, and then they kind of just slept the Clubhouse. Momentum was pretty much in their way. BDS is old BDS. It's just kind of how it is. Second game will be Team Empire versus Navi, and Navi was just not himself. They're not even him. It was just not themselves, honestly, man. It was just crazy. Went to only two maps. First map was Oregon. Second was Coastline. Oregon Team Empire won 7-1, and Navi lost against Team Empire 7-3. Uh, I don't know what to say. They were pretty much just not themselves. It was pretty much just honestly, in my opinion, it was just a fluke day, bad day for Navi, especially since you can see the performance they had against G2 on just later in the week for that kind of time period, which of course the G2 versus Navi game was a few days ago. But let's start with the third place match. Speaking of which, both teams, GZ versus Navi, they went to all maps. Now, this I firmly believe this was like the Citizen show. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. It feels like if Citizen is not on, then G2 is not going to win. They're not able to do anything, and that's bad. That's terrible. Because if you want to be a world winning team or just a contender for SI, and even top four, then you need at least a 2, 3 players to be consistently being able to frag out. If one is not there, another one takes its place. It's so weird. I don't want to say that Kayak or any of the other support players cannot frag out. I think they could do good fragging wise, and I think the role does impair them a little bit. But Citizen and in a way, Jonka is the only ones that are pushing this team far. It's weird. They won or G2 won Chalet 7-3. Navi then won Bank and Clubhouse 7-3 and 7-2. So G2 kind of just fell to Navi. I think Navi was definitely the strongest team in this case. I don't want to say G2 was weak. I think definitely compared to, let's say, other EU teams, maybe they can possibly beat them, but I'm not gonna be surprised that G2 when we do or the next time we do see them, they might be a little more stronger. I'm not gonna be surprised that after the team lock rise after SI, there might be some changes to the G2 roster. It's just kind of how it is. But Navi, they looked good. They look like themselves. It's so weird because G2 and Navi just did not look like themselves during the entirety of stage three, but to be fair, we had other teams like Rogue, Gavana, and even VP coming out of nowhere and just trying to take their spots. I mean, literally, and also Vitality, Team Vitality and Rogue basically took Navi and G2's spot for the Sweden major. So it's kind of just interesting. But Navi is here. Doki kind of on stream himself said that the semifinals where Navi lost against Team Empire, it wasn't themselves. The vibe was kind of just all wrong and shit. So I mean, I don't know what else to really say on this, but one thing that I can say is God fucking damn. BDS versus Empire, the grand finals. This was a best of five, like I said earlier, and we didn't even went to all five. We didn't even went to all four maps. We literally went to only three. BDS beat Empire 7-3, then Chalet 7-0. BDS 7-0'd Empire, and then Empire kind of redeemed themselves, but they still lost 7-2 on Cafe. That's just insane, dude. I don't even know what to say. BDS basically just took Empire's map pick. Coastline was Empire's map pick, and BDS has kind of said, "You're pretty good on this map. We're also really good on this as well," and just got smacked. And then you just have Chalet, which was BDS pick. Cafe was Empire's pick, which Empire is not actually. Empire is one of the best teams on Cafe in EU, and yet BDS is also a really good team on the Cafe, and the momentum was in the side, or BDS was momentum was on their side, and Empire just ultimately lost. I mean, I don't know what to really say at this point when it comes down to Empire. It was a really pitiful performance. I don't even know what to say. Shaiko literally got MVP of all three maps. I don't know what to say, man. I really just seriously don't know what to say at this point. Empire just played pitifully. That's all I can say, man. That's all I can say. But let's talk about the relegation. So the relegation started off with Eminem Gaming versus Hellraisers, and Eminem at the end won. Now it took Eminem a little while to kind of come through. I think Eminem looked strong against Hellraisers, regardless of the point. They lost 8-7 against HR on cosign for the first map. They went to Clubhouse for the second map, and Eminem was able to take that. It was still an overtime game, but they was able to win 8-6. And then Chalet was just Hellraisers were really not there on Chalet. Eminem basically just swept them 7-3. Hellraisers started coming back. I remember Eminem having the lead and then HR just taking back the lead and almost brought it to overtime. But at the end, Eminem was able to just close out the game. And, well, now they're in the UL, which is great. I think Eminem is a really good team. I remember one of the casters saying on the desk that Eminem is kind of like that. I don't want to say Latam team. Maybe I'm getting confused with Parabellum here, but Eminem is a very really interesting team. It's good to see someone like Nello backing EUL. For those who don't know, Nello is someone who used to play for I believe Navi and even Vitality. He was a really good player, and he just hasn't been in the scene for a while because he's been stuck with with different Challenger League teams, and no one from EUL just did not want to pick him up. So him and his team, aka Eminem Gaming, with the org supporting them, kind of just came in and won the
No, I'm just
rightful spot
garbage. Like
here in the
everyone's so
EUL.
much better.
It's funny
than me
because
at this
Eminem
point.
could have
Oh,
easily
fuck.
also been in the EUL 2021 season, but they lost against Rogue. They weren't able to come in, and Rogue was able to keep their spot. But now we have Eminem Gaming replacing Heroic. I hope Heroic kind of comes back. I want to see the Orc Heroic in the EUL scene. Just the big EUL scene, I guess I can say. Just a more bigger orcs we can get in Siege. I think honestly the better optic. 100 Cs. But yeah, either way, Hellraisers, I don't know what to say. They played good. Ultimately, the lost, and that's just kind of how it is. So, but for the second game, we have Hellraisers versus Team Secret, and Team Secret was able to win it. Now it's it's the same thing with Hellraisers. It's the same thing with Eminem. I think it took a little bit for Eminem to get there. It didn't take too much. Secret, on the other hand, it took them a lot for them to get there. It took them an entire map. 7-4 loss against Hellraisers on Bank. But then we go to the second map, Chalet, which well, Secret still lost that, but Hellraisers won it 8-7, so it showed promising results for Secret. It's possible that Oregon can be a map that Secret can take, but Secret has never been really too strong in it. And then they showed that they're actually kind of strong in it and won 7-1 against Hellraisers. Hellraisers just pretty much dropped the ball. They just weren't really able. It just seemed like there was so much pressure on them to close out the first map that it got to their heads, and Secret was able to take advantage on that. And it just kind of turned into this effect of Secret basically coming back. Villa was the callus, or Oregon, my apologies, was the callus, and then you have Villa and Cafe, which sure Hellraisers lost 7-4 against Secret, which isn't necessarily a bad score. It's never really a bad score, but
Oh, I promise.
at the end of the day, Hellraisers just let the pressure get to them, and they weren't able to close it out. It's good to see Team Secret still in the EUL. It's not that I like the org. Is that since I'm getting to Valorant more, if that makes sense. I like to see
Like, I'm not even trying to
the same
argue at this
org in
point.
multiple
There's
different
no
games. It
record.
kind of creates that repetition. If that makes sense, that familiarity that you
Oh,
have
that's
with
such a free kill.
org. So it's good to know that Team Secret is still here. I wish Kennedy
No one's
or
taking the motherfucking pineapple.
Kendrick the luck. I can't
Hey,
speak
really?
for shit. This is such an off day for me. It's always an off day every time I record, but that's just kind of how it is for me for some reason. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe want to see more. And yeah, hope everyone's having a good day so far. Apologies if you aren't, but hopefully this video has informed you even just a little bit. I know a majority of you who are watching this have most likely seen already the relegations and the finals, and most likely just know the scoreline, how Empire literally just lost pitifully. Literally got smacked, man. They were just, I don't, let's not talk about it. Anyway,
I did my motherfucking.
see you guys later, and remember, the rarest content is the one that you're watching, and that's factual. See you guys later.
Killed.
Peace.